Hi everybody. This week our project is to create a classroom website. And what I'm going to do in this video is I'm going to show you how to create a Google website using your MC account. But before I show you how to create that site, I want to say a couple of things about this week's project. First of all, websites in this day and age are so crucial to help our students succeed at home. So we expect them to do homework, we expect them to do projects, we expect them to study, but a lot of times we're not giving them the resources they need at home to be able to do this. Now, I am not talking about a crutch. I am not talking about babying students through a website by putting all of our lecture notes from today, even though they were there and they didn't take notes. That's not what I'm talking about. But here's an example of a time that you would want to use your website to help your students learn at home. Division is a hot topic. Students, teachers, parents, everyone gets worried about it because they're not teaching it the way that we used to do it whenever we learned it. It's different today, supposedly. So every teacher has a different way, Common Core has a different way, and teachers are not necessarily doing it the way that the parents did it. So students are going home with homework, students are going home needing to study for tests, and their parents can't help them because they don't know how to do it. So why wouldn't we, as teachers who care about our students' success, simply put an instructional video of the way that we want our students to do division on our website so that both parents and teachers can work together to learn these things at home or to review it? We're not saying that students weren't paying attention, but maybe it's just they didn't get it the first time, or they needed some peace and quiet, or they needed a little bit of repetition to learn it. So those are the reasons why we do websites. That's why we put these things. That's why we put these things online, and why we do all of this work. It's because we care about them. We want them to succeed. So on that same note, if you have a classroom website already and you want to use that for this project, that is awesome. Please don't reinvent the wheel, but just make sure you look at the rubric and ensure that everything that we're wanting for this project is on there. So you may have to add something or take away something just so that it meets the requirements for the rubric. On that note, if your school has a website for you that you have little or no access to changing or manipulating, you'll probably want to start over because it's very unlikely that website is going to meet the requirements for the rubric. Just make sure you look at the rubric on the assignment. You can actually click on it and look at it. And if your website already meets all the requirements, send me the link to it and I'll be happy to grade that. So for those of you who are going to be creating a new website, I want to talk to you about Google Sites. So what I'm going to do is actually go into my MC email. I will click on these boxes on the top here, and you will see, let me move this, sites over here. If you don't see it, click on more. Yours may be in a different order, and you'll click on sites. And then you'll want to click on the create button. You can do either classic sites or new sites. They look a little bit different. If you've already created a site before, you'll probably want to do the classic sites. It looks very traditional. I'm going to go ahead and click on that. There are some, there's very little difference, just some new features. So, okay, we're going to select a template to use, and we're going to name our site. So we'll do, let's see. And we can browse for a template. This makes us look professional and makes us look like we have all kinds of tech skills, even though we're just going to pick a pre-made template. So let's go to schools and education. All right, education website. I'll take it and we'll scroll down and click select. And actually, I have looked at the new sites, and I think this is a lot easier to use. The traditional site, or classic site is what they call it. Okay, so let's do create. All right, while we're waiting for this to create, okay, what I was going to say is that next week is going to be our ePortfolio, which is simply all of your projects combined in one space. And a lot of times people will use a Google site to make that as well. But we'll talk about that when we get to it. All right, so here you get to edit. This already has a really nice look. So we can click on Start Editing Your Template. And if you're real comfortable working online or working with websites, you could do all kinds of different things. You know what? That's not what I want to click. I don't want to do that. I want to edit here. But if you're not comfortable, then simply edit what's already there. Okay, so this could be your teacher intro. You can add a picture here. You can add text up here. It's very similar to Google Classroom if you have a Google Classroom. You can remove these boxes. You can edit the text in these boxes. And so it's pretty self-explanatory from here. Up here, you're going to have some tabs, and this is where a lot of you are going to be meeting the requirements for the rubric. One of the requirements is a calendar. So you'll want to have some upcoming events. You'll have lessons and notes, things like that. So you can actually add one of these by creating up here.